Hello friends, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. Today we're gonna be doing this very pretty, a little bit of glam but a little bit of subtle at the same time makeup. That's gonna be my Thanksgiving look. Before we get into the makeup, please be sure to subscribe. It is super easy and it is of course 100% free. All you need to do is hit that subscribe button down below and be sure to also hit the little bell so you get notified every time that I post. I'm very sad that one of my favorite primers is almost done. This is the one by Essence. It's the Prime Studio, and sadly, this is the hydrating one. Sadly, I can't find it anymore. I went on the Ulta website and I think this is discontinued. So if you know anything similar to this, please let me know in the comments below because I love this product and I cannot believe it's not available anymore. It is hydrating. It's almost like a thin lotion, but of course it's a primer, and it's been my favorite for I want to say almost 2 years, and I'm almost done with it. So I always like to use 2 primers, and I start with my hydrating, and then of course we go for a more glowy one, and I'm gonna be using my Wonder Glow by Charlotte Tilbury because I've been trying to make a point of using this one because it's pretty old. I'm not gonna finish it still anytime soon, but at least I want to be having it more in my rotation. So yeah, 2 primers is my usual. If I am being super extreme and I have an important day that I want my makeup to last even longer, I'll probably go for 3 primers, which is pretty excessive. But for today, we're gonna stick to 2. If you've been around here for a while, you know that I have been using pretty much Skin Tints and my tinted sunscreen by Tower 28 for over a year, and barely any foundation. But since today we're going to be doing a bit of a more special makeup since it is for Thanksgiving, I thought I would bust out a foundation, and what other better than Makeup by Mario since we're going to be using the new Makeup by Mario palette. I don't remember, but I think I bought this last year around this time when the Sephora sale went around. And I think when I bought it, I liked it, but then I bought the Hourglass foundation and I definitely prefer the Hourglass. So I don't remember how I'm gonna like this. It seems a bit lighter, but we can always get it darker with my bronzer. I haven't used this in a very long time. I decided since I was gonna use a real foundation that I was gonna bust out my beauty blender, which I haven't used beauty blenders in such a long time. Probably for the past 2 years or so, I've been loving applying my base products with my fingers. But for today, we're going to do a bit of both the fingers and then with my beauty blender. But you know that even if I'm using a real foundation, I'm going to use very minimal product and I'm going to try to have the skin look as natural as possible. So now my favorite product is back, and this is my Tarte corrector. I've got mine in the shade, I believe medium, light medium. I think they only carry 2 shades in this, so light medium and then probably medium dark. And I definitely miss this product, and I'm not trying to be dramatic, but I don't know if the formula of this one changed. I don't know if it's just a repackaging or they actually did change something, but I do feel that this one is not as creamy maybe as my past of this one, so I don't know. Whenever I opened it, I used it literally the next day after I repurchased. I was like, this seems different. So I don't know if it's just because this is new or because they actually did make any changes. Concealer, I'm not even going to take too much time in this. I'm just gonna kind of like mention and skip, but I'm gonna be using my favorite combo, the KBD concealer with my Charlotte Tilbury, and to powder everything, I'll be using my Charlotte Tilbury, I always forget, the Airbrush Flawless Finish. So I'm going to pretty much skip through this and then we can move on to the eyes because you've seen me do this a million times. Just covering the whiteness around my eyes and then blending and adding powder. And of course for my finishing powder, I'm just grabbing one of my Hourglass palettes, and this one has a bigger finishing powder, so I'm just gonna use that one. And I like to use it wherever I used my concealer, so around my eyes and this area, around my mouth and nose. For my bronzer or kind of like contouring, I'm gonna be using the bronzer by Merit in the shade Sane. I really love this bronzer. It's very easy to blend. It's super smooth. So let's go ahead and define the cheekbones a little bit more and the jawline, and of course right here on my forehead. So the usual places where I always like to add the contour. And to finish up with my cheeks, I'm going to use this little palette from Natasha Denona that I haven't used in a long time. But I do want more pinky on my eyes, so I thought I would go for more pink on my cheeks as well. So it does have a cream bronzer, not a cream blush, and a very pretty pinkish highlighter. So I'm gonna go ahead and add the highlighter first. I always like to do this. It definitely gives the highlight a more natural look, so it doesn't look as you have highlighter stamped on your cheeks, although of course I do. But I feel like it looks so much better and more natural if it can be natural to have highlight like this on your cheeks. And then we're gonna do the pinkish, it's like almost like a very light coral blush. It's very pretty. It was from a past Valentine's collection. I almost forgot at the very beginning, I should have done this, but I am adding a little bit of lip balm. This one is from Summer Fridays. I really like it. It is definitely more on the pricey side, but I got it on the Sephora baby sale with a discount to try it, and I really do like it. I don't know if I would repurchase right away or without a discount. I don't think so. I don't think I would pay full price, just because I have other lip balms that I also really like that are not as pricey. But this is, I think it is definitely worth it. And it has a very faint vanilla scent and also a very light shade to it, but it's not too much. I think it's just the perfect tint that if you don't want to do anything on your lips and just throw this in, I think it looks very pretty. Before I start with my eyeshadow, I have to freeze my brows, and I am very happy to report that I love this e.l.f. brow lift. So I bought it on a whim one time at Target. I knew, or I've heard, that it's a dupe for the Anastasia. My nose is itchy. And I just bought it. I think it's $6. And honestly, I think this performs better than my ABH, which if you've been following me for a while, you know that I've gone through like 3 or 4 bottles of that one. And I keep repurchasing time after time. But then I picked this up, and I think I'm gonna be encumbered because this is like more than half the price than the other one. I think the ABH is like $20 or something, and this is only $6. And I think it works way better. Not way better, but I think it works better than my Anastasia, which I was very surprised and I did not expect. So yeah, consider me a convert. Let's move on with the eyeshadows as the brows freeze. So we're gonna be using, of course, the Makeup by Mario little palette. I really like this palette. Of course, I've only used it once. You saw me on my previous video. If you haven't seen it, I'm gonna be leaving it linked below. So I did do my second Sephora unboxing, which I literally purchased 3 products, including this palette. And I used, I think, this shade on my crease. So today I wanna go for the more pinkish. So let's begin with the very corner shadow. I have already prepped my lids, of course, with powder, but I do want to use this one just to add a little extra of the same eyeshadow to my lid as a canvas, although it's literally the shade of my lids. So now, my goodness, now I'm going to bust into the pink shade, which this don't have any names, I don't think. They have numbers in the back, but you know, just the pink shade. And I'm going to start blending this into my crease. I mentioned this in that video that I was very pleasantly surprised at how buttery, soft, and easy to blend this matte wear, which I wasn't expecting, because I'm pretty sure, as everyone knows, this palette is known for its very pretty shimmering shades. So I wasn't expecting to have such a good quality on the matte ones, but they are stunning. Look at how pretty that looks. That's a beautiful shade. Now I'm gonna go into this very pretty darker camel brown with a small, more precise brush, and I'm just going to run this along my lashes, not being very careful, just kind of like dusting the shade. So I'm not trying to line my eyes by any means, just kind of giving the lash line a bit more of thickness, if that makes any sense, but very, very loosely. And then with a smaller, more precise brush, I'm gonna go back into that same darker camel shade, and I'm going to start blending this into my outer V, just very lightly and into the crease, but I'm not going to pull it too inside of my eye or my lid, just right on the corner. And then to ensure everything is nicely blended, I'm gonna go back to that pink shadow with the first fluffy brush, and I'm just going to go ahead and blend the edges of the eye. And now for the star of the show, we're gonna be using the lightest shimmering shade, so the second in the palette right here. First from the shimmering, and I'm using a brush, and honestly with the brush it still performs really nicely. It's very, very pretty. I'm gonna try on my other eye with my finger to see if there's any difference, and I am tapping the brush because I also did mention in that past video I found that they do have some fallout, so watch out for that if you do your face makeup before your eyes like I do. Look at how pretty. This might be my favorite of the shimmering shades. Oh, let me try with my finger actually. See how it looks. Well, I think it's pretty much the same. I don't think that the finger application makes a difference between, you know, instead of using a brush. I'm gonna stick to the brush, and I'm just adding this all over my lid, but not all the way onto my outer V. I'm just keeping it on the middle of my lid, and of course coming into the corner of my eyes. Absolutely obsessed with this shadow. It is so stunning. I really love it. And now with my pinky finger, I'm just going to grab the same shade, and I'm going to add this to my inner corner very lightly. I'm not going to add any shadow on my lower lashes. I'm just gonna leave it as is. Again, I haven't done eyeshadow in a very long time, so I feel like this is plenty. And I'm also not going to add any wing or any line. That's why I wanted to do first that more kind of like pretty out of place, if you will, bigger just line on my eyes to create a bit more definition but without being too noticeable. And now let's move on with mascara. I'm gonna do this out of camera because I don't want this video to be super long as always. I'm gonna be using a mix of my Tartelette Twig mascara with the Tower 28. All done with the eyes, and of course I went on and also did my brows off camera because I take a very long time. And for brows, you know that I've been using the Brow Lift. It's the same name as the e.l.f. but from Charlotte Tilbury. So these are my only two products on my brows. So now let's move on with lips. So of course you saw me applying the Summer Fridays lip balm that I just dropped. And this inspired me to pull out a more mauvey lipstick, which I don't particularly love mauve lipsticks on me because I feel like to begin with my lips are already pretty much mauve or more on the purpley side. So it's not my favorite shade, but I have a new lip liner that of course I also used on my past video for the Sephora sale. These were literally my three only products for makeup, and on this box and on my previous box I ordered just a little Tarte corrector. I can't speak, but anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and use this new lip liner. This is the Iconic Nude by, of course, Charlotte Tilbury. And I'm going to add my favorite mauve lipstick and the only one that I have from Victoria Beckham. So let's go ahead and line the lips. My lips are all lined in a very subtle way because I already had the Summer Fridays lip balm. So now let's move on with lipstick, and this is a beautiful mauvey shade. So depending on what is your natural color, of course this lipstick is going to be different on everyone, but on me it's definitely more mauvey purple, and this in the shade Sway, again by Victoria Beckham. I love these lipsticks. They're super slim, super high-end, and the packaging is very luxurious. They have a ton of weight to it, so yeah, definitely love them. I do see myself buying more of these lipsticks, but I really don't need any lipstick right now, but they are stunning. And the formula, of course, it's also very, very nice. All done with the makeup, you guys. I am loving this eyeshadow palette. Loving. It is so pretty, and this is going to be my perfect Thanksgiving look. Let me know in the comments below if you're recreating this makeup or if you're gonna be doing any kind of Thanksgiving makeup. What would that be for you? I know that very typical is just going for the very warm tones on the eyes, doing almost all matte eyeshadow, or at least that's what I think whenever I'm thinking of Thanksgiving makeup, like from the past. People will go very much with the warm tones like eyes and then lips, but I don't know. I just wanted to do a bit more of a glam makeup without being too much, and for me this was perfect. And of course this is exactly the makeup that I'm gonna be using on Thanksgiving. I'm also working on a video with a few outfits for Thanksgiving, including of course what I'm wearing today. I'm not gonna show you because that's gonna be for the other video. I think this video is gonna be the second, so the day before Thanksgiving I'm gonna be posting this makeup look, and then the Monday of the week of Thanksgiving I'm gonna be posting the outfit looks. So let me know if that works for you, and like always, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. And if you do celebrate Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. Bye.